Hello, Odd Job Doer here, and today's little part we're doing here on the kitchen remodel is going to be taking down some cupboards. Now, a lot of thought's been put into this, but it's been decided that we have the new hood over there, upside down, and it's a little bit taller than the old hood was, which was right there in that light tan spot. And I think by code there's some kind of science in here. What they want to see now is if you have a gas cooktop range coming through here, I believe they're saying 30 inches minimum from the cooktop to the bottom of your hood. And so right now we don't have that with this situation, and especially if we're doing two of them, not with this cupboard here. So what we'll be doing today is slightly, very carefully, taking down this double cupboard here and this double cupboard here. And then hopefully saving this cupboard just fine. I noticed that there's like a break here in the wood, and up in the top there, it'll be left with a couple of holes from this. The top needs to be actually cut. There's not a break up there. I don't know if you can see it up there, but and then yeah. So it's coming down, and what's going to go up there is it's going to be more of an industrial look. I guess there's a trend in kitchens around this time that has it more or less that you have an open wall, no cupboards, and you just have shelves and racks and stuff like that, I guess. I don't know. I'm not an interior designer. So what we're going to do though is that we'll be taking off the cupboards, starting with the middle part. So what we'll be doing here, open these doors up. There's this wire, right, that goes to the hoods, or the old hood. That is still dead. Already checked it. But I'll just be basically pulling it up through the hole in the cupboard there and keeping it ready to be pulled out from here. Now this cupboard here, what we'll be doing is we'll start by taking off these nice doors, hinges, right, on both sides. And then we'll see. I know inside here is a pocket screw on the back of this. I can try to take this off without destroying too much stuff. And this bottom board here, I believe, is just supporting this shelf, so that can go. And same with the one on top. And the other thing that we'll have to watch out for is you can see right now there's a stud here. I'm going to probably have to shift the position of the vent hood just slightly to the side, depending on how much the stud comes over, because the new vents are going to vent through the back wall. But that's another video. So for now, let me get these doors off of the cupboard. Alright, so I took out the two screws that are back there, and I took out, probably hard to see here, but two screws that are right around here, pocket screws that went into this frame. And now the shelves, I'm pretty sure were, let's see, yeah, if you look over here you can see there's like little brad nails. So I think the shelves, this shelf, which goes into either cupboard, is, I'm done with the brad nail. Little wiry nelly thing. And so what we're going to do here is, I got a special tool that's right here, an adjustable wrench, right? And I adjusted it to fit the lip right up on here. So now I just hook it in, and with my eye protection on, we give it a little pull. Let's see what happens. Right? We adjust over here some. Try to get it deep down on the piece of wood as much as possible. And maybe some over here. Because how this is constructed is, besides having two pocket screws in there, are some finishing nails that are driven through this board into the wood behind it, the shelf behind it. So nail it. No. So okay, so we got that part there in the works. I will use the screwdriver to take out this other pocket screw on both sides, which is kind of useless now, and continue to just bring this here down. Or what we could do is get the our hammer, you see, do some of this action. Alright, and so what we're trying to do, like I said, is preserve this cupboard over here. So I'm going to try to pull away from that one, and if anything gets marred, it's going to be the other cupboard over there. Right? Right. Okay, I'm going to undo some screws and be right back. Before I get too much more destructive on this here, yeah, so I couldn't even get to these screws because of this board. They must have put the frame across. They probably built the frame and then tacked it up to the inner workings of this shelving thing. Anyway, so with that in mind, you'll have a better idea of how to construct this thing or deconstruct it. Like I said, this side's over here I'm not going to care too much about. I care about this side over here. And so up at the top, up there, is the only board that I really worry about the most, because there's a solid board that goes across from this side to that side over the yonder. And to remedy that, I was going to use the coping saw, but I'm going to actually try this saw first, right? Pretty jagged. And if it's getting too shoddy up there with the cutting, I will go to a finer saw to have it look better as a finished end. Once I get that board cut, and maybe that back one might have to be cut down, but by the time I get to that one, I'll probably have this whole thing, well, this whole side taken off. So I'll get to cutting and see where we are after that. So with my little specialty tool here, a little curve to it. What I did is I took that and I removed the top trim. You can see up there when I made the cut through, and you can see the trim on the left hand side. I moved the right hand side trim all the way down over yonder, very safe and careful, and I will recover a nail probably and tap it back into this part right up in here. Right? And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the specialized tool, or I'll go find a bigger pry bar of some sort and go around and pry off this front part of the cupboard from the back part. Probably starting at the top board and working my way across and down and get all this front facing nice decorative looking stuff off. You can see most of it came off in a piece. Split something down there at the bottom, but so now what you got here is cupboards. Looks like 3/4 inch plywood, mostly constructed, and you see close up, it's just kind of like, you know, you got a little construction like that there, right? Mighty fine. Some screws back there. And this right here, once again, is just a decorative piece that's nailed on to the front of this board. And now that you know how it is constructed, I will start probably at this end here, go way up there, take off that piece of trim, and save it. Of course, I'm going to save the other trim too for later, just in case. And I will start by hammering / prying out that side, and then working the shelves out. Working this side here out first, bam. Out that way, a little bit of hammering, a little bit of prying. It's all held together with these metal pins. See, so then we got these parts here. I'm gonna, after I get that off, I'll work on these shelves, getting them out, and basically work my way back to this cupboard here. Right? And all in all, without dropping anything and breaking anything else. Alright, so I'm trying to preserve this as a whole now. But what I did here for the middle shelf, I took a little saw with a metal blade, and I went through and I cut off some of these, not this one, but nails that came through, and then pried this shelf down. And the backboard here, these look like this right here, they are apparently glued and stapled to this board here. Now, what we have over here is just the nails hanging out, and like I said, this is the cupboard side I want to keep. So I'm I'm taking a little hammer here, tap them back on through, right? And from the inside, you can see them there, but they're in, and you can pull them out, kinda. So, for right now, I will forego pulling out the rest of those things. They're at least safe from this side, I'm not catching anything. And so the next shelf up, I'm going to do the same way. I already cut through it, so give it a little pry. Yeah, I'll push up. This board here is also nailed here, so that's where the special tool comes in. Just kind of hammer in there, give it a twist, lift it up. But you know what? Need 2 hands for this. Meanwhile, I'm still watching this other cupboard because I took out all the main screws in it. So it's basically just being held by this here and the grout. Yeah. So after we get that board out there, oh, and that top board, then we'll see if it just falls on out or so. Well, now look at that. It's on the ground, free from the wall that used to keep it captive. Now we just have, what I do is actually cut the board up there. That board went all the way across, and then I kind of cut it and then it kind of split some. And what can I say? It's down, and now we've got a bookcase, right? And it probably won't be too hard to take the old trim that was on it, you know, trim off parts of it, and make this into a cupboard by itself again. So that little job's going to be something else maybe if I can keep it. Do something with it, I don't know. But what next? So back up on the wall. We got that board there has a couple of screws in it and probably is nailed to that backboard. Now that I know that the backboards follow the cupboards, I'm going to leave that one attached while I work at tearing up this top part here, which, like I said, that board goes all the way across, so back in the corner here I'll have to cut it off from the other cupboard carefully, like. Yeah. And then I think there's some screws too that are holding that yeah, you can see some screws there are holding that board up there, so I'll do a little cutting over there with the fine tooth saw, and then that top board I think is nailed to that board. Well, I don't know how it is. Yeah, it's probably nailed to it. I mean, that's why it didn't fall down yet. That board there. And so far I very slightly hit the ceiling a few times with the saw and kind of crushed some of it, but yeah, good luck finding some ceiling paint that matches, I guess. Anywho, let me get back to tearing stuff up, or don't have in this case. So the plan now is over here, I'll start this cupboard here that's staying. So we got the cupboard there, and it's, you know, a little miscolored there because I don't think it's ever been stained in that spot. For some reason it's stained around the hood. So I will capture a little bit of stain, probably, I don't know, golden oak number whatever, and stain at that side. And then for the holes here and markings, I'll do a little sandpaper buffing and fill the holes with some wood hole filler. Then I'll also restain that part over. What else we got? Oh, so the top of the cupboard up there, like I said, I saved some trim from the other side, and so I'll put that trim back here. And also got trim to go back down here, so it's going to look fairly nice and trimmed in. But I think I will wait, because for the trim I'll wait on that. For the stain I'll do that first, hopefully. Likewise, the ceiling, maybe a little primer and some, I'm thinking it's a ceiling paint, would match what's the paint in here now. Okay, that's not helpful for you guys. It's kind of a white color. Probably is white ceiling paint, hopefully. What's going on here? Come back. Come back to me. Ooh. Alright, maybe I got a little dust or something going on. So, then what we got going there is those wires hanging out. Right? So we got wires hanging out there. And this is going to be a little shopping trip now. But instead of having wires coming out and instead of being direct wired in, like the old range hood is, and some are, the new ones both have cords, you see? Already corded. So, that wire will turn into a receptacle in the wall. And I'll show you how to do that, if I haven't already. And the last but not least, the white elephant is actually this tile here. And I'll talk it over, but I think the best thing to do here is... There's two schools of thoughts. One would be to track down the tile, chip away the weird pieces, undo the tile that have weird shapes to them, and lay in new tile to bring it back up to that, or even tile it all up to the new rack that I'll be building. Well, I'm making a new rack to hold these range hoods. So there's that idea for tiling. The other, which is probably the one that might be going with the quicker dirty one, is from the bottom of that cupboard there. Once again, might be a little bit tough to start, but I'll probably use the abrasive saw blade and start cutting across till I get to a spot where I can plug in that circular saw and then buzz it across all the way to here and probably cut off this little rounded part. Maybe not, maybe keep it, maybe cut it off. I don't know. But that notch would probably be about the spot, around the bottom of the notch there. So at least it's a straight line of tile going across. And I could probably, depending on how that turns out, pack some grout in there to make it look finished. Because I have to buy grout anyways for the other part of the counter. But that's for the future. For now, this video is all about tearing up the cupboards. And guess what? We did that. Got those cupboards tore up. Day's done. Also with the wall, I noticed there's some nail pops, so I fixed the nail pops already by putting in some extra screws in there and hammering back in the nails. So that will get treated, and I'm just kind of happy maybe that this wall had been painted before and textured, so the texture is going to match, but there's parts of the wall that will need to be fixed up with some putty, including a bunch of holes up there, and yeah, and then primer and paint it. And the paint is not going to be that color. The paint is going to be a different color, kind of like a spice color. So, lots still to do, so stay tuned. And next video, what are we doing? Shopping trip? No, there's no video on that. So, next video I'm going to go, I'm going to not make a video, I'm going to buy parts. And then I'm going to come back, and I think what I'll be doing is making the rack for the hoods. And then installing the hoods. And then, after the hoods are installed, then we get back to installing the range. But maybe I'll do a quick video of electrical stuff, because this box here needs to be done, and the one up there needs to be done. So that's part of that happens before you get painted. Anyways, I'm just mumbling now, so stay tuned. Odd Job Doer, going to bed.